One morning, a wise teacher entered his classroom carrying a large glass jar. The students sat up, curious, because he usually came with only books and papers. Without saying a word, the teacher placed the jar on the table and then brought out a bag of large stones. He gently dropped the stones into the jar until no more would fit. Then he looked up at the class. "Is the jar full?" he asked. The students nodded. "Yes, it's full." The teacher smiled. He reached under the table and pulled out a box of small pebbles. Carefully, he poured them into the jar. The pebbles slid between the spaces left by the big stones, filling the gaps. He shook the jar lightly, and the students could hear the pebbles settling in. "Now, is the jar full?" he asked again. Some students hesitated, but most still said, "Yes, now it's full." The teacher's smile grew wider. From beneath the table, he took out a bag of sand and slowly poured it into the jar. The fine grains slipped easily into the empty spaces between the pebbles and stones until the sand reached the brim. The class laughed softly, realizing they had been wrong twice. "Is it full now?" the teacher asked, raising his eyebrow. The students, now cautious, whispered, "Maybe not." The teacher chuckled and finally took out a jug of water. He poured it into the jar until it could hold no more. The jar was now overflowing. The students laughed out loud, impressed by how much could fit into a single jar. The teacher then leaned on the table, his voice calm but firm. "This jar," he said, "is your life. The big stones are the most important things: your health, your family, your loved ones, your purpose. If everything else was lost, but these remained, your life would still be meaningful. The pebbles are the other things that matter: your career, your house, your possessions. The sand represents the small stuff, the arguments, the endless tasks, the little worries that consume your days. And the water is everything else you keep trying to squeeze in." He paused, letting the words sink in. If you put the sand or water first, there will be no space left for the big stones. If you spend all your time on the small things, you'll never make room for what truly matters. The classroom was silent now, every student reflecting on their own life. The teacher's eyes softened as he concluded. Life is not about how much you can fit in. It's about choosing what you place first. Protect your big stones, and the rest will always find space. But ignore them, and you'll fill your life with things that mean nothing. The jar stood on the desk, glowing in the morning light, not just as glass filled with stones, sand, and water, but as a mirror of life itself. Always prioritize what truly matters. If you don't take care of the big things in life first, you may never get the chance to.